Liam Haskett, welcome to the Bray Ethan podcast. Thanks to our friends at Pegs, episode 153.
Thanks,
welcome.
boys. Thanks for having me.
Great to have you in. Now, I think Ethan said to me the other week, we don't think we've ever had a BBL player in studio that hasn't been a Scorchers player. So, obviously at the Strikers this year in BBL 14. So, how have you found things since coming back from Adelaide?
Yeah, good. Obviously, awesome experience. It was sort of like a last minute call up from the Strikers as a local replacement, which was pretty cool. So it kind of went from probably grade cricket over the Christmas period to hopefully a few games and ultimately 2 games in the Big Bash, which was pretty cool. So a cool surprise, to say the least.
I think the ones that come to mind that we've only had in studio would be Josh Philippi.
At
the Sixers, and Sam Whiteman, who I think at the time was contracted to the Thunder. So those are the two. We've had a lot, obviously, remotely.
Definitely in a long time. That would have been 2 years ago at least for Sam Whiteman.
Yeah. Well, you were part of the Scorchers squad for BBL 13. So how did it actually come about to join the Strikers as a replacement player?
Yeah, as you mentioned, I was only with the Scorchers for a year. So I was basically free to play anywhere. And I think there was an injury that happened at the Strikers, which basically opened up an opportunity, and they were looking for a left-arm fast bowler, which was sort of fortunate in my favour. So, yeah, I mean, it's kind of the way it happens if you get an injury within a squad. It's probably a good rule that they can actually bring someone in, no matter what stage it is in the tournament. And, luckily enough, it was my opportunity, I guess.
Yeah, fell your way. And obviously being part of the 2 setups now in the past 2 years. So what are the differences between the Strikers and the Scorchers setup? Because compared to, say, the 4 Melbourne and Sydney teams, they're pretty much state teams in a way with some imports. So what's the key differences between the 2 setups?
I think experience is massive. When I was at the Scorchers, it was obviously a very successful franchise. They got into the finals that year, but I think the difference between experienced players and sort of first-year players is much more on the experience side. When I was at the Scorchers, I felt like at the Strikers we had some seriously experienced players like Chris Lynn, Boyce, Matt Short, for example. Myself, maybe Jordan Buckingham, those sort of guys were probably fairly new in the space of T20 cricket. So the difference between, as I said, the experience and the first sort of year guys was quite large, but I guess for us, that meant we were sponges. We just learnt a lot of those sort of guys, which was great.
Yeah, and Tim Payne as a coach.
Yeah.
How was Payne as the head coach at the Strikers?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it with Payne. He brings a real energy and positive mindset to T20, which I think is really where cricket's going in that sort of space. It was pretty much go from first ball when we're batting. We're going to go aggressive. We're going to go real hard at them. Which I think it probably worked in some games, but when it didn't work, we can really suffer from that. So we can either score 250 or be all out for 100. So it was the first year. There were a lot of lessons, and I hopefully get another opportunity, but I really enjoyed it with him.
Yeah. And versing the Scorchers in the last game here, did you try and give sort of insight to your teammates about guys you know really well?
I tried. I guess opening the bowling, I probably should have known a bit better that Fanners was going to rant me first ball and all that sort of stuff. And in hindsight, I would have loved to have done a little bit better. But yeah, obviously I would have been stupid not to try and hand in a little bit of advice when we're playing, especially in front of a massive home crowd that the Scorchers have. And we all know how good they are. So where I could, some indications, but I felt like I had to do it myself as well. Which was good, but where I could, absolutely.
It would have been hard because they're going so hard at the time, and I know with that probably comes a risk of getting wickets as well on the other end, but man, sometimes you just got to feel sorry for bowlers, hey? Like in that stage, it's like almost if you're going at 10 and over, it's actually okay. I feel like in that scenario.
Yeah, it felt like both games I played, so the first game we made 250 in the first innings. So, you're kind of expecting to go 10 and 15 and over. You'd be all right with that. And then the last game, Scorchers needed to basically get there within 2 overs of at the end of the innings to get a net run rate close enough to make finals. So, but at the same time, it's just good lessons. If I miss as a bowler, and you're going to get punished, so it's good. It's good.
Yeah.
one of the moments of the summer was having your dad catch the ball in the crowd against the Brisbane Heat. You knew this was coming.
Yeah, of course.
How long did it take? How long at the time did it take for you to realise that was your dad?
I had no idea during the game. I was more caught up in getting absolutely slapped around Adelaide Oval, 20 rows back. Yeah, it was weird. So we finished the game, spent his time autographs and that sort of thing. I reckon it would have been... I actually caught up with Mum and Dad after the game, and they said nothing, which was quite surprising. It was after when I went into the rooms with all the boys and we finally settled down. Alex Ross was on, I reckon he was with Fox Cricket for that game on the player mic. And he's come up to me and goes, your old man called one of the sixes you got hit off. And I was still a bit like, mate, you're taking the piss sort of thing. Like, what are you talking about? And he pulls out his phone, shows me the video, and by that time it's kind of blown up. And I don't think I said anything for the next 20 minutes. I was like, this is ridiculous, like not real. What's going on?
Your phone would have been blowing up.
Yeah, it blew up a little bit. So on one hand, I was stoked, but I was still really annoyed that I got slapped 20 rows back and he's caught the catch. And I think by his reaction, he probably wasn't stoked as well.
Your mum didn't seem happy as well.
No, that's right. All the attention of it all was just like, she doesn't like it. So, which is kind of understandable, but. Yeah, let's just say I won't forget that one anytime soon.
Maybe in junior cricket it's like a bit of a chance, but like surely that's never going to happen again.
People there, and your dad is one of them.
I remember at the start of the game, I know they were there, and I looked up because I knew roughly where they were sitting, and I looked up and I couldn't even see him. So like you just think through the odds and stuff of McSweeney hitting that six and my old man catching it. It's pretty freakish, I guess.
Yeah. Crazy how 1 out of 40,000, whatever it is, it just happens. Well, hopefully you do have a long career ahead of you, but we're hoping that that's not what you're going to be remembered for most, because I'm assuming since then that's all people have been talking to you about and talking of you.
Yeah, a little bit, unfortunately. Depends which way you look at it. But yeah.
Well, Christchurch alumni, and I think you were part of the Darlow winning cup team in 2017. How was your personal experience in the PSA with footy as well?
Yeah.
And do you have any specific memories that come to mind?
I love PSA cricket. It was probably one of my fondest memories in cricket thus far. We won it when I was in year 10 and didn't bowl. I was an opening batsman. Wow. And I was quite a lot chubbier than I was today, which a lot of people don't believe, but it's true.
Did you grow late?
No, I was steady grower, but I was just unfit and enjoyed the canteen too much at lunchtime. So, but I think my fondest memories, I reckon year 12 was when I actually started to be seen as more as a bowler and took a lot of wickets, but a mate of mine, Nick Richmond at Christchurch, he took more wickets than me, and to this day he always reminds me, which is good of him. But it was that Darla was pretty special. We had Brad Hope, who plays at Tasmania. He was like class above basically everyone at that sort of stage, and he basically, along with Mark Boyatzis, who also played for Christchurch, got us over the line on the last day. We needed to win outright against Trinity, which was kind of unlikely in the space of basically a day and a half of cricket. But we managed to get there basically in 2 overs left on the last day, which was pretty cool. And let's just say the celebrations sort of kicked on from there pretty nicely. So I reckon that was the highlight for sure.
Yeah, and I'm hoping that you were ruckman playing footy.
More centre-half back, and then played a few years of Ammos and was full forward, and then went back centre-half back. So good old swingman sort of stuff, but a little bit of rucky here and there when required.
Now, I'm shocked that you just said just before that I didn't realise that you could be an opening bowler until year 12. So were you playing district cricket in the underages as well?
Yeah.
How have you? How did they realise so late?
I was injured a lot growing up, so I did 13s, 14s, 15s, 17s, Claremont, and then PSA sort of takes over when you're in years 10 to 12. So year 10 I was a batsman. As I said, I wasn't the fittest, I wasn't the strongest, and that's probably why I was a batsman. But I could always bowl. I was always, I felt like I was a good bowler. I just fell away from that for some reason. But year 11 I did my knee, so that did me no favours, bowling coincidentally. And then year 12 was, I guess like in year 12 the oldest. So you might be the most developed in terms of your body and maybe the quicker bowler.
Yeah.
So that's when it probably took over a little bit. But it's weird. It's like some people may see you as a youngster more as a batsman, and you can kind of get fixated on that sort of. I've got to be a batsman. I'm not a bowler because my coach tells me so. But that sort of changed as I grew older.
Like your breakout year sort of thing.
Yeah, I guess like playing well in that sort of year was like, I think cricket is one I want to kind of hold on to. I want to play footy at that stage. I was like, cricket in summer, footy in winter. But it's sort of cemented, I want to stick to cricket in summer for sure.
Now, you received the rookie contract mid-2023 for WA. During that time, did you have an idea that it was sort of on the cards and potentially happening? Because, like you said, you're playing some Ammo's footy for collegiates at the time.
No, definitely not. I think also I didn't really go through any development sort of academy pathways with the WACA. I didn't do 17s, I didn't do 19s, which is probably a little bit different to how most people sort of transition into getting a contract. So I was very fortunate, very thankful, obviously. And just playing grade cricket, getting good performances out for Claremont Netherlands, which I guess was the main helpful indicator for them to say, I reckon he deserves one, and also a few second 11 matches that I got to get involved with, which was nice.
And you were 12th man the summer before, I think, for one of the games. Before getting a contract.
For a Shield game. That was the last Shield game of the home and away season. We already were in the final. We had a great year that year and obviously went on to win it. It was a good experience, being 12th man and experiencing it with those lads. I guess that may have been on purpose, looking back, as like a sort of window to see what it's like and get used to it, and hopefully a sign of things to come. So, cool opportunity.
Maybe they just wanted to see your drink carrying skills for the final.
I've gotten pretty good at that over the last few years, like when needed. So, that's probably fair enough.
I remember we were talking to Hamish McKenzie about how sometimes it can be a bit more of a, not harder role, but just intense role with gloves and just that for the big bash as well. Like, you got to be on all the time, whereas like when you're sitting off, when you're in the 11, you can probably relax a bit if you're not batting soon. It's
actually more stressful than most people would probably think, because you stuff up, you're going to find out. Your teammates are not going to be too pleased. And in the Big Bash, it's all televised. You got to do it within a certain time. You stuff up, you're probably on TV, and that's going to be pretty embarrassing. So I don't know. Like, for example, if I was 12th man and we had obviously we're batting, I'd probably bring gloves for the top 6 because it just happens so quickly rather than just having the guys who are batting now. No, I'd bring out top 6. So it's a little stressful, but you got to do the job at the end of the day.
Would you say that being 12th man, you can switch off more when the boys are out in the field, and then when the boys are in the sheds, you've got to be more switched on?
I believe when they're batting, it's easier as 12th man. I think when they're in the field, you need, like for red ball, it's a bit different because a lot of different fielding positions, maybe short legs more likely, so you've got to bring more helmets out. But keep a helmet on and off each over. Someone wants to substitute, someone wants a drink, that sort of thing. So you just got to stay sharp at the end of the day, which most people don't really expect, but it's just part of the job.
Yep.
Fast forward to October 2023 and you make your Shield and one-day debuts. Also played against West Indies, dismissing the top order for the CA 11. Yep. Did last summer feel like it happened pretty quickly?
Yeah, crazy fast. Didn't really expect last year to happen the way it did. But at the same time, I was pretty stoked about it. It was the way it worked out with WA. We had a lot of injuries with our pace bowlers at the start of the season, and fortunately I wasn't. So basically I was thrown in for the first game of the year against the Vics at the WACA, and managed to put in a good performance, which was great, and kind of made sure I kind of held my spot going forward, which was nice. But it just gave me a ton of belief going forward into that season that basically I was ready to go at that level, and a lot of confidence that I was good enough and I was ready to do a job when called upon for WA.
Must be pretty satisfying, like contributing to winning Shield teams, winning one-day teams as well. I know this year hasn't gone to plan, but in the last few years.
Yeah, obviously this year not quite the year we wanted. Still not over yet, so we're not throwing the tickets in just yet. But last year was pretty special. I think for me the highlight was the Junction game, round 10. We needed to win to basically make the final. We expected it to be in Tassie if Tassie just drew or won against the Sackers at their home ground. So we sort of expected that to happen. But Day 3, as it turned out, we had a scoreboard at the junction and it had little running updates of other Shield games. We saw that Tassies were in trouble, which was a little bit surprising. And obviously we were playing the Vics and they needed to win to also make the final. So it was a spicy game. It was low scores, but we knew if we got the win, we're in the final. But the way things panned out, it was a pretty special afternoon on day 3. We got the job done, and then we saw the Tassies didn't get the job done, and meant we had a home final. And we love playing at home. We know the conditions so well, and we got the job done in the end. So I think that was pretty special.
Yeah, definitely. Well, there's some good vision out there of you bowling Matt Renshaw through the gate in a Shield game and then peeling for an LBW.
Yeah.
What went on there?
I generally just thought it hit his pad. I had no idea. As it turned out, too, like I had a towel in the back of my pants because it was quite hot and sweaty and humid in Brizzy, and that fell out as I bowled the ball. And technically, like if it fell out, it probably should have been called a dead ball. Yep. But I think it was just late enough. But by the time the ball was delivered and the dismissal happened, it kind of fell out and didn't affect anything, I think. But yeah, I honestly just bowled the ball and thought it struck his back pad, and I was like, that's plant, I'm going up for LBW here. And then I basically appealed. I was like, how's this not out? And then I turned around and Cam Green was running from first sleep, and he went, mate, it's just bowled the top of off. And I was like, oh, okay, beautiful, let's go.
Wow.
So yeah, that kind of turned around pretty quickly.
Do you have a favourite wicket from your professional career so far, or one that maybe's meant more than any others?
Yeah, I reckon back to the junction game, getting Matt Short out in the second innings was massive. He was like it felt like to me he was the best batsman I bowled to thus far. It just felt like anything you bowled to him that was in his hitting zone, he smashed it.
Yeah.
And he's quite an intimidating figure to bowl to. He's tall, he's strong, obviously, and anything short, he loves the pull shot, which is like as a bowler, you bowl a short ball to intimidate, but someone who loves it, it's kind of like works the other way. So. Yeah, again, getting him out was massive, and obviously it helped us that day, kind of getting 10 wickets and securing the win.
And then turns out he was your skipper in the BBL.
Yeah, there you go.
Full circle moment.
Yeah, got to sit back and watch him hit that 100.
Oh, that's my point. He's a freak. Absolutely. When he's on, he's probably one of the best in the world. So yeah, absolutely.
It's probably been frustrating not playing for WA as much as you'd like to this summer, but Claremont's a pretty good team to go back to say the least. So what are the goals for the rest of 24, 25?
Yeah, obviously frustrating first half, but getting the back right now, coming back from stressies, is a slow process, but we're there now. Played a few games with Claremont under some sort of restrictions in terms of the amount of overs I can bowl, which has been good. Good to get back with the boys and contributing to a few wins. Going forward, it's basically now we're good to go back into red ball loads. So I think next week I'll be off to Melbourne to play for second 11 WA against the Vics. So get through that game, hopefully get a win, and that basically ticks me off, hopefully to be available for selection for the last 2 Shield games and possibly the last one-day game. So I'm hoping there's a few more opportunities in the Shield aspect going forward in this season. So yes, it's been frustrating, but there's still opportunities, which I'm looking forward to. We've
spoken to guys who, a lot of guys, and they've sort of said that as soon as they've got a contract for WA, they've just felt like more pressure at grade cricket that they have to perform. Yeah. Has that been a facet for you? Or was it as simple as just like going down there and feeling like maybe there's not a lot of pressure on you?
Depends, I think, which way you look at it. I think there is. The fact is you're a professional cricketer. I guess your standards should be a little higher than maybe some other people, in your opinion, or others. I don't really know. I think, it depends on what you think. But personally, I like to think I lead by example and show a good standard in the grade aspect, and try and help guys. For Claremont, for example, we're quite young and got a bowling attack that's developing and growing. So I like to help them out where I can, and obviously do my best to try and get the guys a win. So yes, I think there's a little bit more pressure, but I think everyone's a little bit different as to how they approach it and what they get out of it, I guess.
Has Tim David played? Did he come back recently?
He may have played last week.
He may have played last. Yeah, I saw T. David. I was like, yeah,
in red ball cricket. Yeah.
But the other thing about grade cricket is you also see a lot of like guys who bat low down the order bat high in grade cricket. Like AJ Ty, I think backs like 6 or 7 for Scarborough.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you try and get up the order when you can?
I try. My batting's been terrible, so at the end of the day, my performances haven't been good enough in grade cricket to get me up the order just yet, but we'll keep plugging away. Plugging away slowly, but yeah, that's the way it goes in cricket.
On that with Tim David, when was the last time he would have played for Claremont?
3 or 4 years ago, possibly.
Yeah. Before he made the move to Hobart?
I reckon.
Probably, yeah.
We're talking, I reckon it's over 2 years for sure.
Yeah, wow.
Which is a bit of a flashback when you think about it, for sure.
He's playing a couple more before he ventures off to wherever
he's playing this red ball game.
Yeah.
I was chatting to him last week, and obviously he's going heading over to the IPL pretty soon.
Yeah.
So maybe there's one more game with him. I'm not sure, but obviously his schedule's pretty packed once he gets going. So we'll see. Maybe one more game.
Exciting.
Yeah.
Well, as we said, I think it was off air, we were talking that you're studying at uni, studying commerce. So how's that going with the business? With the balance of it all between being a professional cricketer and obviously studying.
Yeah, it's good. When I first decided to do it, I was like, I don't want to do this. I just want to put 100% of my eggs into cricket and see where that takes me. But I'm glad that I did it, because it's just something to fall back off and switch off from cricket. So yeah, whilst I think we're saying off air, like deferred exams aren't great. Waiting 4 months to do an exam, that's not ideal. If you've got a game and you've got to defer your exam, but it's all part of the process. It's really not that the end of the world. It's kind of fortunate that we can defer it and get it done. But yeah, as I said, it's something that I'm glad I did in the end. And yes, the units aren't all that fun. I guess that's most of university courses in some degree, but it's good. I'm enjoying it.
Tricky day to day as well, because schedule's all over the place. So maybe when there's not uni on, it's like filling in time as well.
Yeah.
And you don't maybe just want to go like in the nets.
Yeah.
Every day.
It is a little bit different. Like you said, the schedule's a bit all over the place. It's not, I like footy where it's each weekend we got a game. We could be Monday to Thursday this week, and then we got 3 days rest, and we got a game on Sunday, and then we travel and play Wednesday next week. It's kind of all over the shop. So you're right, in terms of the uni schedule, it's not ideal, but it's good. I'm with UWA, and they've got a good program for people who travel with work and sport. So I'm fortunate in that aspect that it makes life a little bit easier.
Travelling would be pretty fun, I imagine, with the boys. There's obviously a lot of young guys around.
Yeah, of course. That's how you get to know everyone a little bit better, I think. Because obviously when you travel, you got time to kind of chill out, and obviously you're at the plane, you got to wait, and flying with everyone. I personally love away trips, because that's basically what people love about it, is connecting with the boys, even more in coaches, etc. Away from cricket necessarily, and travelling Australia to play cricket. Very, very fortunate and lucky to do so. So you're definitely not complaining when you travel.
Basically a work holiday with your mates.
That's right.
It's handy.
Yep.
Any plans to potentially head over to England or something at some stage?
Absolutely. Yep. We'll see how we go this year with off-season surgeries, etc. That might need to happen, but no doubt it's on the bucket list. Get a summer over there and experience the difference in cricket in England. And everyone I've spoken to who's gone over there and played say it's a must-do, if not once. So definitely on the bucket list.
Yeah. All right, we'll move into the Instagram Q&As. Start off with Max Hansen. Is it true you used to work in a school bookshop?
Yes, it is.
At Christchurch?
Yes, at Christchurch, yes. Before, it was during the days of like just playing footy and cricket, club cricket and club footy. Yeah, I had to earn money somehow, so...
Giving back as well?
Yeah, giving it back to the school, so yeah, that's true.
Nick Scheller Bear.
Yeah.
It's not really a question. It just says his go-to sing in the shower is "Hit Me Baby One More Time."
He's a freak, that mate. Absolute freak.
Nick _Richmond_ best spin bowler you've played with?
He's going to want me to say his name. So I'll give credit to Nick, because he was the one that got the Darlow wickets ahead of me, and I'm still filthy to this day about it. So Richo's definitely up there. I reckon the best, Ashton Agar for me is just the skill level is just unbelievable. And I think Corey Rockachola is definitely climbing up that ladder. But I guess for me, I guess in white ball with batsmen going so much harder, you just can't miss, like I said earlier. And for him, his pace variation and spin ability and basically use of different types of balls was really special to watch and pretty unique, I guess. So
You would have missed Rashid Khan by just one season at the Strikers.
yeah, that would have been pretty cool to experience that. Definitely would have not liked to have faced him because God knows I don't know how to face a wrong'un. So don't know how I'd face his, but yeah, that would have been pretty cool.
Yeah.
Last one from Edward Westcott says re-signing with the Strikers ? And before you answer that, do you even you obviously sign a contract as a replacement player?
Yes.
Right, just to the end of the season. So yeah, just to clarify. Yeah.
Nothing as of yet. Yeah, TBC in that space at the moment.
Exciting times ahead, hopefully.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
All right, we'll move on to the quiz. Sportsy's got a couple of mentions, I think, in this episode so far. He was the first guest of the year, and he's sitting on 8, which is now last. He was winning last week, but Luca Grego came through last week and picked up 11 out of a possible 14. So it's on yourself.
Yeah.
Wish me luck. How well do you know yourself? Your stats?
God, this could be bad.
You came in today and said, I don't think I'm beating 8.
No,
I've heard that before.
Yeah.
Many times.
Well, we'll see. We'll see.
Question number 1. What is your height on the Strikers website?
200 centimetres.
Correct. 1 from 1, flying.
Well, we're off. Here we go.
Question number 2. How many wickets have you taken in your Shield career?
20 wickets.
Correct. He knows his stats. He's just
well, there's 2 questions, so I wouldn't jump the gun too quick.
2 from 2. Question number 3. Who was the last person you dismissed in a Shield game?
Campbell Kellaway.
Will Sutherland we've got.
I reckon it was Campbell Kellaway.
I did look at the dismissals.
I don't want to cause an argument. I reckon it was Campbell Kellaway. He was the last wicket in that Junction game.
I'm going to have a look.
Will Sutherland was the wicket before.
Yeah.
Let's go here. Second innings, fall of wickets.
Kellaway was
Yeah,
last.
it's true. I must have just seen. I reckon what's happened is I was just seeing Fergus O'Neill, Todd Murphy, and I've probably just thought, who's going to bat below them? But then there's Kellaway, so that's
3 from
correct.
3.
Yep.
Let's go.
Yeah, because Kellaway's listed higher, obviously, at 3.
Yeah, but
That's
then
what it
obviously
was.
fall of wickets. Yeah.
Yeah, because he batted basically the whole inning, so that's probably fair enough reason why you
50
thought.
off 130 rock.
Yeah.
3 from 3.
We're flying here.
Yeah.
Question number 4.
Against the Scorchers, you scored 5 runs from how many balls?
8 balls.
9.
9.
Close.
Okay. Even worse. slow strike rate.
3 from 4. Question number 5. In 2022, you played 19 games for Collegians in the Perth Footy League.
God.
How many goals did you kick?
2022. I'm pretty sure I was playing centre half back. I'm going to say 5.
17.
17.
Apparently. According to
maybe-
Play HQ.
Yeah, probably more swingman than I thought.
The manager might have given you a couple of goals.
Probably raised me up a little bit there.
Still 3 from 5.
God.
Question number 6. What was the score you had to keep the Scorchers to in order to stay alive in BBL 14 in that last game?
As in what they had to score, or
So if what you had to restrict them to or under?
under 158.
146.
No, God.
Wait, so it was up for the Strikers
To stay alive.
Yeah.
But then the
It was-
Hurricanes won.
Yeah, it was really. It
Hurricanes
didn't really.
lost anyway.
It didn't matter for us in the end because, like you say, the Hurricanes got the job done.
Yeah.
But it's all over the shop because it also depends how quickly they get it for the Scorchers' sake. So there's a lot of math equations, but yeah, probably should have known that one. Go on
3
again.
from 6. Question number 7. How many runs did the boys lose by yesterday to South Australia?
48 runs.
44.
Good guess. 44.
No, this is not good.
It's all right. Still got 3 questions and 8 points up for grabs.
Yeah. Okay.
Question number 8. True or false? So 50% chance here.
Yeah, go
True
on.
or false? You haven't gone for more than 50 runs off your bowling in any form of cricket this season. True or false?
False. Oh, it's true, isn't it?
True. The most you went for was 49 in grade cricket.
Against Rocky Mandra? Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
I jumped the gun there. Oh, I knew it was 49. I looked at the stats that game a lot too, so I should have known. Oh, man.
Did you end up bowling 4 overs against the Heat in that game?
No. Only played against the Stars. Sorry, not the Stars. The obviously Scorchers at home and... Sorry, it was the Heat. 3 overs, sorry. 3 overs, sorry.
I was going to say, 'cause if you bowled 4, then that would have been pretty good to keep him.
Yeah. If it was 4, it would have been, I reckon, 60 plus if it was 4.
All right, still 3 from 8.
Yeah.
6 points up for grabs. It's a good question. What ball of the over was it when your dad caught the ball in the crowd?
Oh.
If you got any idea?
I remember. I think it was mid over, so I'm going to say 3.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
Needed that one.
Yeah. If I didn't remember that, then I feel like...
You would have
Oh,
seen
well,
it plenty of
yeah.
times
I reckon it's
before.
understandable if you don't remember. When Nathan McSweeney is smacking you for
Yeah.
6, you want to probably forget that.
It's all a bit of a blur at the time, that's for sure.
4 from 9. Question number 10.
5 points up for grabs. So, Claremont won a 3-peat of 2-day flags from 2018 to 2020. How many years had it been since a team did this in WA Premier Cricket before that?
Whoa,
So 5 points if you bang on, 4 points if you're within 3 years, 3 points if you're within 5 years, 2 points if you're within 10 years, and a point for anything outside of that.
So worst, you're getting 5 points in total.
Jeez.
So how many years before 2020?
So before 2020?
Because that was the last one. Had it been since a team did that in WA Premier Cricket?
Okay. I'm just trying to think of clubs that was just super strong and probably had a chance of doing it back in the day. I'm going to say... So you want the date, sorry, and the club, or...
We don't need the club, but if that helps
just
you.
the year? Since 95? 1995?
That's a while.
Have another guess. Have another guess. Have another
It's
guess.
not that old.
It's more recent.
It's
More
let's,
recent?
Let's say it's in the 2000s.
Oh, okay. 2007?
Ooh.
Well, that's pretty much bang on.
It is pretty much bang on.
Scarborough did it 07 to 2010.
So they did the 4-peat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I probably should have known that. Scarborough. They were so strong back then.
Well, that's 5
So
points.
it is 5. We'll
'Cause
we'll
you
hand
said
it to you.
07
We'll
and
get-
it
yeah,
started in
It's
05.
within the
I
it's
need
within
it.
the years. It's within the span.
I need
So
all the points I can get, so...
takes you to 8,
9.
9. So you've leapfrogged Matt Spores.
Thank God.
And 9 out of 14. You take that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know you started well, but it's
Yeah.
pretty tough. I know the Collegians one was probably threw you off a bit.
I didn't expect to be like, what was it, 15 or 17?
17.
From
No
19
way.
games.
No.
Off half back. That's impressive.
Managers put a few on there that I don't remember.
Could didn't know who the girls kicked.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
We'll give Hask some.
There probably would have been more questions about like recent. Well, I mean, there were recent stuff on there, but I don't know what's happening with your play cricket profile, but it only has like 22, 23 summer and before. Or like,
Yeah.
I don't know what's happening with that platform as a whole, but
Don't ask me about
Yeah.
that one.
Well, for the ladders in my competition, the WACA Suburban Turf, we don't have any ladders at the moment because they're trying to work out what the 1-day grade,
The
the
app's
1-day
fine, though.
ladder is and the 2-day ladder is.
Oh,
the app's
God.
fine though, isn't it? It's just the website. Or is
Yeah,
it
the app's fine.
Yeah.
It's just sometimes stuff bug up.
Websites are generally not so good. Apps are pretty good. The My Cricket app.
The app is very, very
Yeah,
good.
does the job, which is good.
Yeah. Well, Ethan, we've got some exciting, I guess, watch this space sort of stuff coming in the next
Announcements, yeah.
couple of weeks. So make sure you stay tuned. We'll be getting back into the footy stuff very, very shortly. Obviously, by the time this comes out, the Indigenous All-Stars game's been played and won by, hopefully, the Indigenous All-Stars.
Come on, Freo.
Freo don't know who's going to win. But yeah, so stay tuned for that. That is all going to happen around the next month or so. But Liam, can't thank you, and obviously Peg's enough. Best of luck for the rest of the Claremont season, and hopefully you can get back into that WA side later in the summer.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me, boys. Appreciate it.